Hey listeners, you're listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and if you're me, maybe a couple cough drops, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's most popular fantasies, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season we'll be discussing the cultural phenomenon that influenced the entertainment industry for generations with its cult following. That's right. Hold on tight, spider monkeys. We're headed to Forks.
When you can live forever, what do you live for? This podcast. You live for this podcast. Also, maybe the vampire who takes a shine to an innocent girl. Welcome to Sparkle High. Let's go.
In this episode, we'll be discussing New Moon chapters 21 through the epilogue, where the Volturi give Edward an ultimatum. Make Bella a vampire, or there's going to be hell to pay.
Before we get into it, this is your warning for major spoilers ahead. This includes potentially all Twilight materials, including the movies, interviews, and companion books. We're also avid fans of the Moss universe and might accidentally let spoilers slip for other popular romantasy book series as well. Sorry in advance, like the other seasons, this podcast is rated R, so be warned.
Also, a friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also join our growing community on Patreon for bonus content and more.
All right, last we left off, we just saw Bella saving Edward from his untimely demise. Well, I guess his timely demise, because he was planning to do it at noon for some reason, in the middle of the day.
Most dramatic impact ever.
Yeah, he just really wanted the melodramatic end. And Bella stops him. At first, he thinks he's hallucinating, just like she has been this whole book. But he soon realizes that Bella's there, and they get taken away by the Volturi guard very quickly. So we start off this episode in the depths of, what does she call it? She calls it like a turret, a castle turret in the middle of Italy.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. I know she comes out of the dark tunnel that is the sewer or whatever they went through, and she's like, "Oh, light, relax." Like,
yes.
Are you sure?
Can y'all see this in your mind? Because it doesn't make sense to me that you go through the sewers to get to the warm part to go up into the turret that's now the cold part. But then when they exit through a door that goes to the outside. So why didn't they just come in that door?
Yeah, I'm not really sure if they had to do it this way because they intercepted Edward. And so they were like, you know, in order to keep Edward from doing something stupider, they go this way.
Stupider.
Stupider. But I definitely couldn't imagine it easily in my mind. There is a scene though right after this where they have to get in an elevator, and the scene in the movie is so funny. I don't know if you guys remember the actress that plays Jane, and they're just standing there quietly in front of, which I can't remember her name. I know her name, but it's just not coming to me.
Dakota Fanning?
Yes. Dakota Fanning, looking fabulous as Jane, even though Jane is not supposed to look like that. And she's just like standing in front of them in the elevator. Or am I making that up? Is that a deleted scene?
I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a really long time.
I feel like I have seen that. But anyway, they finally make it into the area where the Volturi are. And Bella does a lot of describing what they look like. So what are some of the things that she says about Alec and Jane and Arrow?
So, first of all, Jane is supposed to be, what, 14?
She's supposed to be 12 or 13.
12 or 13. That makes it even worse. Not that, you know, kissing a 14-year-old is... And I know she's not necessarily a 14-year-old, but she has the body and mind of a 14-year-old. Sure. And I know she's old. I know she's old, and then back then they used to get married at that age and whatever. But no!
Well, she's not getting married at 12 or 13. No.
They used to.
When he kisses her on the lips, I actually questioned, is this because Stephanie Meyer thinks that the Catholic Church is evil, and she also associates the terrible things from the Catholic Church that we are all aware of with them as a whole? And so, and of course, Stephanie Meyer doesn't say that the Volturi are the Catholic Church. That's a theory by fans that a lot of people believe. It does kind of make sense in a way. And they're in Italy, you know what I mean? But at the same time, that was what was going through my head. It's slimy.
It is slimy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's, and I mean, I know we've kind of talked about this before, but how you can't make a baby because they go on temper tantrums or whatever.
There's a lot of reasons, I think.
Teenagers have temper tantrums?
So I'm glad you asked this question. So I've done some digging into the Volturi. And by digging, I mean I read the illustrated guide. That's pretty much the research that I did, because that's straight from Stephenie Meyer's mouth. So I did a little bit of research. So Jane and Alec were 12 and 13 when they were turned. And their backstory to me is one of the funniest, because Stephenie Meyer says that they were changed around 800 CE, which she doesn't say common era, she says after death, of course. And she says that they are from, quote unquote, England, which at the time, England was not a unified area. Like, it was not a unified kingdom. So they were actually from Anglo-Saxon, like Western Europe. So who knows what that means in the large Gothic, like Saxon, Anglo conglomeration that Europe was at that time. And even funnier, there were no witch burnings at all during that time. And she says that they were killed because the people thought that they were witches because they had psychic powers. So she says that they were burned at the stake for being witches by the town community. And let me tell you guys something. Witch burnings are like 800 years later.
She also, Alice gets accused of being a witch as well.
Which, when Alice was turned, is too late to be a witch, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And also, Alice is said to have been electrocuted in an electric chair for her psychic abilities, but they did not exist until after she died. So, let's talk about the Volturi, because once I realized some things here that... Once I realized that Stephenie Meyer's not very good with historical accuracy, I did a deep dive, and I had way too much fun because I have a history degree. And I was like, okay, I know this is wrong, so what else is wrong? Another thing I wanted to point out is that Arrow, Caius, and Marcus, so she says that they are born from around 1300 BCE to 1200 BCE. Do you guys know how long ago that is? That's
a really long time.
Ancient Greece. The Dark Ages of Greece. That's the Iron Age, guys. That's before modern tools. I just think that's absolutely nuts. She also says that they're from Greece, which I think is really fascinating because they spend all of their time in Italy, and we don't know when they make it to Italy. Because if they were born and turned in Greece, why Italy?
Yeah.
It has to be the Catholic thing, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And would it power
Roman type?
I'm sorry,
Romans and Greeks were enemies.
Well, no, Romans just fucking stole from the Greeks.
Yes, the Romans stole lots of things from the Greeks.
They did.
Yes.
I mean,
are you saying are you saying that the Romans stole Aro, Marcus, and Caius?
I mean,
sure.
I just think it's crazy that they were born during the time of supposedly the Trojan War. I just think that's wild.
Maybe they were in the horse.
They were in the horse. You're right. That's how they ended up in Italy. They were in the horse.
They were like, wrong fucking stop. Damn it.
Damn.
If we leave, we'll sparkle. Oh no.
Another thing of note that is not really touched upon that I think is interesting about the three main guys is that Aro, he is kind of the main drive for being in charge of things. He meets Marcus second. Marcus is the youngest of them, born 1350 BCE, but physically changed around his 20s. The other two are around 40 years old. And then Marcus has the most useful power besides Arrow, which is he can tell the relationships between people. So he's apparently very useful during fights. And Caius comes around about 100 years later, I think, and he's already mated to someone. Well, Marcus falls in love with Arrow's sister and is so infatuated with her and becomes mated to her that Arrow finds her to be a threat to his control, and he ends up killing his sister to make sure Marcus stays under control. That's crazy.
That's
weird. I thought they all, I thought they were related before. I didn't realize they all came at different times and then came together. But it kind of begs the question, because back then, didn't people get married young? So none of them had wives or anything like that before they were turned? 20 is kind of old back then.
Caius has his mate, Athenadora, but I think it said that he meets her after he's turned. And then the other two both meet their mates after their turn. So,
which I think is incredibly fucked up that even in the illustrated guide, their lines are name Caius's mate, name Marcus's mate, name,
yes.
Are you kidding me? They don't get anything?
Apparently after Arrow kills, I think her name is Didyma or Didyma.
Yeah, I'm not trying to pronounce that.
Yeah, I don't know how to Didyme. After he kills his sister, Marcus becomes so horrified and withdrawn that they decide, oh, our other two mates, Caius's mate and Arrow's mate, we don't want them to die because that would be bad because then we would withdraw. So they seclude their wives in Volterra forever.
Why not just kill Arrow?
Yeah, so that's because he has control of all of the guard, and he has this woman named Chelsea, formerly Charmion, who has the ability to bind people or break bonds. And then he also has this other guard member who I cannot think of the name. It is escaping me.
Isn't it C something?
It's another C name. I don't know why I didn't write it down here. The other guard member is able to, essentially, similarly to Jasper, make people comfortable or
take their pain away.
Make them easy to control because they're agreeable. Let me see if I can find the name. It's Corin. Corin is the one that is able to make people agreeable and under Arrow's thumb. So everybody else has been affected by the gifts of the Volturi Guard.
That's crazy. They haven't had any kind of uprising between Marcus and Caius. They haven't tried something.
I actually think that might be the subject of potential future books, because there's no way she created all of that lore about Arrow killing Marcus's mate and all of the stuff about Arrow being in control for him to not be taken down eventually, in my opinion.
That's a long eventually.
Yeah. The funny thing is that in the illustrated guide, he's she writes, Arrow didn't want to kill his sister because he truly loved her. He just valued Marcus more.
Literally.
And that's how Marcus never figured it. Yeah, that's how Marcus never figured it out, because he could see how much Arrow loved his sister.
Yeah, it's crazy. But so Arrow and going back to Jane, he had wanted to turn her and Alec when he saw them first, but he realized they were young and he had already put in place the law that you can't turn children. But then when they were burned, quote unquote, burned at the stake for being witches, then he was like, well, they're going to die anyway, so I might as well change them. And they were burned. And because of that burning, apparently, is why their gifts are really awful. Apparently, Alec focused on shutting out the pain while he was burning. And so his gift manifested in a way of shutting out everyone's senses. So he can literally take all of your senses away from you. That's his gift. And then Jane was so upset about being burned that she was wanting to inflict that pain upon others. So that's why her gift is literally causing others pain.
So they had psychic abilities before. What were their psychic abilities?
It is not stated in the illustrated guide.
Because I thought Alice saw the future beforehand, Bella shielded beforehand, and those became their gifts.
Yeah, it just says
Arrow knew how special they were. So how did he know how special if they didn't even have their gifts yet?
Well, they did. They had psychic abilities. It also says in the illustrated guide very vaguely that bad things happened to people that were around them. And so people assumed that they were witches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would probably be burned at the stake too.
You're like, bad things happen to people around me all the time.
Well, mostly bad things happen
to my enemies.
I want the power of karma. No, I tend to knock shit over and, cause bad things to happen by accident.
But yeah, I just really wanted to bring up their backstories because I am fascinated by the fact that she gives them these little stories, but did not do much research about them, especially Alec and Jane. That doesn't make any sense logically, but it's really tied to how they became vampires and how they are as vampires. So, yeah. But back to meeting Alec and Jane for the first time. They greet each other like they haven't seen each other in so long. They're like,
I know, like, you just got sent out, and oh my god, you're back. That's like my dog when I take a bath. I come out of the bath, and she's like, you're home!
Literally, and all of the Volturi are like, oh my god, Jane, hello! Like, welcome back.
You were gone for so long.
Would you not be too ass-kissing every moment?
Honestly, yeah. At Jane's power, I mean, yeah. And Alex.
I do have a question, which is kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but they eventually give Edward a robe to wear.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just put his damn shirt back on?
Where was his shirt? Did they leave it?
It was at his feet. They left it in the street.
My god. So they also did nobody else have any clothes in there? You guys live in there.
Is he just walking around in a robe like some old grandpa? That's...
Yeah.
That...
And in the movie, of course, we have to show Rob Pattinson's chest, too. So he doesn't even close it. It's just like an open robe.
Of course.
So what's the point?
Yeah. I will say, as slimy as Arrow is, and the other two, they're such interesting characters to me.
I think, personally, that I would probably try to murder Arrow for being too peppy. Yeah,
he's having too much fun for someone who's that old, honestly.
He sounds like a child in the audiobook. It's like, oh, yay!
It's hard for me not to like him, though.
Yeah.
Because he's played by Michael Sheen. And I love him. And so it's really hard for me not to like, oh, it's okay.
I agree. No, I agree because they're the most interesting characters that you see for a while. Like this whole book, I mean, if you don't like Jacob, then this book is super dry and like depressing.
Yeah.
Up to this point. And then you see Arrow and he's just so different from any other character we've seen thus far, especially in the movies.
Yeah. And that level of happy would usually make me want to punch somebody, but somehow Michael Sheen can pull it off. Like he can do it and it's still good,
I disagree. I don't like it at all. I like Michael Sheen. I do, but no, even in the movie,
just too much.
I need to punch him.
Yeah, I get that.
It probably has a lot to do with the way he speaks. Like I can deal with the happy people, I can, but he's just like, I don't know how to describe it. Dramatic about his happiness or something.
To me, but to me, the reason he's interesting is because he's absolutely insane underneath it, and so it's like you can see that bleeding out.
That might be it. It's just his happiness has a touch of insanity.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like Michael Sheen has that a little bit too. If you've seen him on that carpool karaoke, and I can't remember who he did it with, but it was like psychotically fantastic.
That's great.
Highly
he
recommend.
plays the role perfectly.
Yes.
I did have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
When they were in the elevator, Bella starts to describe Felix and Dimitri again. And I was like, didn't she describe them when she first met them?
Oh my God.
Why are we describing them again?
I don't think I caught that, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
I also thought that it was interesting that he was kissing so much ass in this, praising Edward, praising his gift, praising his restraint. Oh, it must be so hard not to kill Bella.
Yeah, it's just so hard on you. So
Yeah.
I thought Carlisle was so, restrained, what's the word?
Exceptional.
Disciplined.
Yeah, discipline.
And, but I smelled her in your memories and she doesn't even smell like that to me, but I want to drink her.
Right.
Fuck you.
All right, we get it. Bella's special. Fuck, dude. My God.
She needs like a little name tag. Hello, I'm special.
I'm a singer.
I'm a snowflake.
I'm working late. Okay, anyway. So Bella is... Go ahead.
What's the name of it? A Mary Sue? That's her name.
Yes, that is her name. Her singing name?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Mary Sue.
Her stage name. It's her stage
Who?
name.
Yeah, there you go.
Mary
For
Sue.
who? For Bella?
For Bella, yeah.
Remember why, Christy?
No.
Mary Sue is a term that we use for authors that insert themselves into the character.
Oh, okay.
They're also a blanket term for the pretty girl who doesn't think that they're pretty, who's chosen, who can do no wrong.
The pick-me girl.
And yeah,
The pick-me
all
girl.
of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
speaking of Bella's specialness, not only is she a singer, she also she just is not affected by anyone's gift.
Well, that's the thing that gets on my nerves about this.
Yeah.
Alice can see her in the future.
Yes.
Jasper can affect her emotions.
Correct.
Which, to me, Jasper's emotional thing should be one of the things that can't. Because
I agree.
emotions happen in the brain.
Yes.
Yep.
It's invasive enough that it should not be one of the things that affects her.
Yeah.
Mine go for my ass cheek, but okay.
Marcus's, I mean, you can say that maybe he's just seeing Edward's relationship with her.
Maybe.
But if it is working on Bella as well, I feel like that shouldn't work. Because again,
Well, they see her as a vampire.
Huh?
They see her as a vampire. At some point, Arrow's like, okay, she's good. She's going to be one of us. It's okay.
Right.
So
That's
that
through
means they had to have
Alice.
seen her. Yeah.
They did it through Alice.
But she shouldn't be able to see her either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, decisions happen in the brain, and if Alice's gifts worked on decisions, then yes, if her brain is the thing that's being protected, her thoughts. Jane's power, I believe, works on making you think you're in pain.
Right.
And it just doesn't make sense that some works and some doesn't.
Yeah, that's some serious plot armor there.
Convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Very convenient.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of a lazy step. Like, Bella should have to be in some kind of peril aside from Edward fucking pushing her into a window at the beginning of this book. I don't know. Or a glass table.
I mean, she is in peril because they're gonna kill her.
But not really, though.
But not really.
It's very benign. This whole section and chapter are kind of anticlimactic for something so high stakes.
Yeah.
You know, like the whole book is leading up to Victoria possibly getting her and nothing happens with that. And then it's very anticlimactic when she sees Edward, and it feels very anticlimactic when they meet the Volturi. Mm-hmm. Now, to be fair, the Volturi are like the end of this book, and we really talk about them more and more into the next books. But I still feel like there's something there that's missing a little bit.
I think they drag it out too much. I think if they had changed her there and required either she dies or she changes right now, I think that would have been so much better. But for her to go home and now you're waiting and she's still human and you're waiting and it hasn't happened, it makes it kind of, like you said, anticlimactic when it does happen. It's like, yeah, okay, let's just get it done.
A little bit, yeah.
In the, I guess, structure of the book, there's no end. You've got all this buildup and no resolution. That's the word I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Resolution.
Thank you.
It's kind of like book blue balls.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
A lot of pumping, nothing coming out.
Jesus. She's right, though.
She is. Oh my God.
She's so right. So much work. For what? So much work.
I'm going to forever in my mind, this book is now going to be New Moon, Blue Balls. Like, ew, it's a blue moon. It's a blue moon.
Is this how Jacob feels? Oh, man.
Rise of the Blue Balls.
Jeez. And Arrow asks if they want to be part of the Volturi family, but the three of them refuse, the three of them being Edward, Alice, and Bella.
Which, this is the first time you get to see it, but Caius is very anti-Bella.
Yes.
And I wanted to be like, what you got against her?
It's, okay.
What did she do to you?
One of my favorite things in the illustrated guide was that in Caius's little like bio, it says that Arrow really liked him. Oh wait, it might have been in Marcus's bio, because Marcus didn't understand why Arrow liked Caius. And he says something along the lines of, well, Arrow really admired Caius's ability to just hate people. And I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, I mean...
So he was a born hater. And that's what he's here to do.
That's his superpower? He hates people?
Because he doesn't have a gift. He is actually...
Aww.
He is the only of the three that doesn't have a gift, so he ends up being the Punisher, quote unquote. He does all of the punishments and heads all of the punishments for the Volturi clan. So if someone has to be killed, or if someone needs to be in trouble, Caius is the one that does it. And it's because he's a born hater. He is ready. And if you remember, he's the one that's like, oh, nope, they broke the law, by the way. You can't just let them leave.
Which, okay.
Spankings.
Bend on over.
Very Michael Sheen.
Okay. So they have their own humans, and we didn't talk about her, the Gianna person.
Gianna, yeah.
Oh my God.
What kind of fucked up person do you have to be to work for them? First of all.
You know, I feel like Bella would be one of them if she wasn't with Edward.
Yeah.
Is that
true.
wrong to say?
No.
I don't know.
That's right. It's right.
I don't know. Cause she was like I have to turn you in, Jacob, because, you're killing people. It's not okay.
But she like glorifies the vampires. She's like, they're so strong and like
does.
Beautiful.
But only because she met Edward first.
I don't know. I think she would still be that way for them.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm on the fence.
I don't know. I'm on the fence too. Like, I don't think that she would be okay with the killing. Even though she was okay with it for Jacob and Edward, but only because she got feelings for them.
Right.
That makes everything okay.
She did get really upset at the end when they're leaving.
She did.
Very upset.
Is that when she's panicking and she's making noises and having a whole attack and Edward is completely oblivious to all of this? He's like, oh shit. Oh damn. Well, she
does have like a full-on panic attack. Yeah. I don't know if he's oblivious to it, but yeah.
I think she's oblivious to it.
No. Doesn't Alice have to tell him, Edward, she's having an attack or whatever?
As soon as
she's having hysterics is how she puts it.
He's focused on getting her out of that room as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But as soon as they get free, Alice is like, okay, make her sit down. She's going to freak out.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he was completely unaware of what was going on.
I don't think so
either. He just was
focused
on getting her out of the situation.
Yes.
But my other thing about Gianna is really more about Bella. I was so pissed because she was like, oh, she would have been pretty or beautiful if she weren't human. And I was like, really? So humans can't be beautiful? We have to compare beauties? You can have somebody be beautiful in one way and then another person be beautiful in a completely different way. And you just can't compare that kind of shit.
Yeah, I must have missed that.
I was like, this is specious. And
you're like, excuse me, I'm a human. And I am beautiful.
It makes me, the whole Stephenie Meyer's beauty standard is just putting that out there in a book to teenagers really fucking irks me.
Yeah. It's not awesome. So much of this book is not good for teenagers, especially this book.
Yeah. Women have enough, I'm not beautiful issues on their own.
Also not being able to live without certain people.
Yeah. And especially those certain people that are abusive and narcissistic. But
yeah, I saw, not to veer too much from the book, but Rachel sent me this reel that was someone talking about basically a different take on why Bella is so crazy in this book. And their take was like, well, Bella's not freaking out because Edward's gone or because she can't live without him. She's freaking out because she's also coming to terms with the last year that she's had because it's been an insane year. And then they break down all this stuff that happens to her, which, don't get me wrong, that would be a really valid take if that's what Stephenie Meyer intended.
Yeah.
That's not what she intended.
She almost dies like 3 or 4 times. She almost gets taken by some people in Port Angeles.
Yes.
I mean, I would think that was completely valid. No, she falls apart over a man.
Yeah, and that's the intended way that we're supposed to read it. Now, if this were a real person, then of course I would be like, oh yeah, I mean, her having a full-on breakdown is reasonable. Her whole life was uprooted. She meets this guy that is like super love bomby. You know what I mean? Then he leaves and she almost dies multiple times. Her life is in danger. That is a valid take if Stephenie Meyer intended for that to be the way we read it. I really don't think that is what she intended. I think she intended for us to read it as Bella is breaking down because of Edward.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she says it when Edward was like, yeah, I wanted to crawl into a ball without you and I fell apart and you at least got the will to wake up in the morning. No, she didn't. Not for a really long time.
Yeah.
Charlie made her.
Yeah, for a while. He wasn't there for the 3 pages that we read that were October, November, December, whatever.
Yeah.
We were there for that, Edward. We witnessed
I think that was
her
Edward
breakdown.
Fishing for her to say, I wasn't able to get up either. I think it was a fishing attempt.
I just think it's very funny that he's like, I wasn't able to live without you. Oh, and also, I could never take away your personal possessions. Because I would never take away the evidence of me. It was all under your floorboards the whole time.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Okay, just because you hid it doesn't mean you didn't take it away. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If she didn't know it was
boards.
Yeah. If she didn't know it was there, then it doesn't make a difference how you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of gaslighty, crazy bullshit? Anyway.
Yes.
We're jumping ahead.
Yes, we're jumping ahead a little bit. So the other thing I wanted to mention before we move past the Volturi and Italy is that Caius and Arrow telling Edward that Bella is not allowed to live, that she either has to become a vampire or they have to kill her, really takes away the choice from Edward, and it's very convenient.
Yes, it is.
So he doesn't have to make that choice and become the bad guy.
Yes.
Yeah. That, I think it's interesting with that whole concept for Stephenie Meyer of that they're the angels, the good ones, things like that. Yeah. And yet, in every book, at multiple chapters, they steal cars. So your perfect angels are thieves repeatedly.
Yes. And I mean, don't ensure that the cars go back to the owners either.
Yeah. And I mean, if you read Midnight Sun, I don't know if you've finished it.
I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'm still slogging through.
It is so rough.
It is.
They do kill the guy from Port Angeles.
Yeah.
And they're just like, we'll just shoot him full of drugs. It's fine.
As long as
we're not
actually
bite him.
Yeah. As long as we're not, drinking his blood, it's really fine. Because that's the ultimate sin.
And don't they shoot somebody else up in Phoenix?
Yes.
Like,
There is
Somebody
a crazy...
take away Carlisle's medical degree.
No, for real. There is a crazy scene
License.
where they're like stealing the car from, I think it's a lady, and he injects her with very dramatically with something to make her pass out, and they take her to the van. Which I was like, I cannot believe this is not in the movies. Because
what if she's a mother?
That's crazy. Yeah.
What if she was taking medicine home to her child who is gravely ill and they have now taken her car?
Mm-hmm.
It's all for the greater good, okay, Christy? It's for the greater good.
But, these are earthly sins, and they don't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless a werewolf does it, and then all of a sudden it's a big deal.
Exactly. Because the werewolf are the scum of the earth, apparently.
Right. Yep. I miss them.
I do think it's funny that she says that Arrow is even colder than Edward. So, like, the older they get, the colder they get.
Ooh, yeah.
And I was like, it's funny because she made them the complete opposite of the werewolves, where they are super, super hot, and in more ways than one. And and I was like, okay, so being cold is supposed to be, I guess hell is hot, but
yeah, I guess. Oh my God, I never thought of that. Oh my God, is that why they're cold?
Like, why?
Oh my God, is that why they're cold? Because
I don't want to be cold.
Because the werewolves have to be hot because they're sinners. I can't believe I'm saying that. I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't know. That sounds really far-fetched, but also I feel like she'd do it. I don't know.
Maybe she didn't even know she did it.
Yeah, like it's a subconscious thing. I agree.
Unconscious bias.
That's even crazier. Another thing.
And so the good ones are ice cold.
Yeah. The good ones are ice cold.
Oh my God.
She really is for that popsicle dick,
Yep.
Yep. Have a stiff one.
A stiff one.
Sorry.
The last thing I wanted to mention before we leave Italy is Heidi, who is the last Volturi guard that we see, I believe. Except for Gianna, maybe? I don't know.
Gianna's the human.
Yeah, because
she didn't count.
I guess she doesn't count as a guard.
She's pre-dinner, yeah.
But Heidi, as they're leaving, is ushering in a group of American tourists to be slaughtered.
American?
It says that they're American.
Okay.
Wildly specific.
Yes.
I don't understand how Volterra is supposed to be the safest place in the world. If an entire group of 40 tourists went missing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's not like it's not like they kidnapped those people from outside of Volterra. They obviously were there.
Yeah, no, and they bring them in from other places too, because in the illustrated guide, it's stated that Heidi will do anything to get a group of people into Volterra, including using fake plane trips. Like, she'll tell people they're going on a fabulous vacation to Turkey and then take them to Italy instead. But because she is so blindingly beautiful, people follow her. Like, that is literally what it is.
Okay, so they don't know they're going there.
Sometimes they don't. I don't know about this
little
group.
old Catholic lady was not following Heidi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm. No, she knew something was up. But that's the thing, is if they know they're going to there, wouldn't they have called their friends or somebody, or maybe texted, hey, I'm going here? And then that's the last place they're ever seen?
I don't know,
And then
man.
nowadays, there's Find a Friends. I'm just saying.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True. The Volturi are going to have to get with the times because,
cell phones.
Yeah. What's that one app that's like, Life 360? Your friends checking up on you, your family checking up on you on Life 360? Yeah.
There's like a whole fucking group, and they're like, what the fuck?
But yeah, I thought that was crazy. She is the only Volturi member that's mentioned in this book that was born in the pre-modern era, or not the pre-modern era, in the modern era, because she was born in 1550 in Germany. In what would become Germany.
I feel like Felix's power is his strength or his battle prowess, right? Do they
Felix
say what Dimitri's is?
Yes. So Felix is just a big muscle man. Dimitri, his special gift is tracking.
I saw that, Christy.
Brittany's like, here he is.
What did I miss?
Felix.
Oh, Felix. The antithesis to Stray Kids Felix.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet that's who she pictures.
But Dimitri his special gift is tracking. And what I love about him is he was changed around the 10th century in Egypt by Amun, the head of the Egyptian coven. But
so I guess that's why they get olive toned.
Yes, olive toned.
Yeah.
I feel like it is pertinent to say here that Dimitri, if he was born around the 10th century, would have been coming from one of the most powerful Muslim empires to ever exist, because Egypt in the 10th century was controlled by the Fatimid Caliphate of the Golden Age era of the Muslim Empire, which is actually really fucking sick. And he should be cooler than just having a special gift in tracking. He should be like super smart or something, because the Muslim Empire of the Golden Age, they were like known for like their technology and their science and their medicine, and like they were like the coolest thing ever. So the fact that he comes out of that just being able to track some bitches, I don't know. I just think that's lame.
It is kind of, yeah.
And how is that your superpower? Anybody could get on Google and do the same thing.
I just feel like she could have come up with Google.
just you know,
yeah.
Send them
But
a
she
link
could have
on
done
Fiverr.
something bigger and better.
Like
Absolutely.
you said, Life 360, we're all great at tracking people now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm Marcus.
right? Okay. I'm done being a complete nerd about the Volturi.
I love it.
If you're going to give me time periods that these people are from, I'm going to give historical context, because she has no idea. She clearly doesn't have any idea.
Yeah.
She just went, oh, that seems cool.
Yeah, because I wonder, I haven't gone any further than the ones we discussed for this book yet, but I wonder if Amun is going to be quote unquote traditionally Egyptian, because if he's also from the 10th century, then that also wouldn't make sense to me as well. But we'll see what happens. I haven't read any further.
Do we get introduced to the others in the books, or is it just the illustrated guide?
I really don't recall, if I'm being honest. So if they don't introduce all of the other Volturi, then, you know, we probably won't discuss them at length. There's a couple of random vampires that are introduced in Breaking Dawn because they side with the Cullens against the Volturi. So we will be discussing Amun at some point.
Yeah. Well, I meant like, I believe they talk about Chelsea in Breaking Dawn.
Chelsea is like super important, apparently.
But I was just like, who else do they introduce more people? I don't remember.
I really don't recall how many people are discussed, but I know that there's more. So we'll see.
In the movie, it's an army.
Yeah. I also thought it was funny that Marcus is the youngest of the three, but in the movie, he looks like he's thousands of years old. He does not look like the youngest.
Yeah.
I thought Caius was the last one to be brought on.
No, I meant like when he was turned, Marcus was the youngest. So Marcus was turned around like 20-ish years old.
And Felix probably, I don't even want to say in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no. Anyway, I'm not good with ages. I can't tell people's ages.
He looks closer to Arrow and Caius's age. Well, Caius looks young in the movies, but he looks closer to Arrow's age in the movies.
Caius is played by Jamie Campbell Bower, and
yes, who has a very youthful look.
I think I've said this before, but I like you, but you need to stop. I don't like you in that movie. You are not cute at all.
Jamie Campbell Bower?
Yeah, I hate him in that movie.
But you do love him. Which, by the way, I feel like you really having a thing for Jamie Campbell Bower and really having a thing for Felix of Stray Kids tracks, because it's the same kind of pretty, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Just saying.
Had a thing.
Yeah, right. Now it's Felix.
Anyway. No. But yeah, no, I do like Jamie Campbell Bower, and he just does not like that. The way that they dressed him was not attractive. And I was just like,
he's supposed to be scary.
He's not. He's got like, he's not scary. He's not attractive. It's not anything. It's just kind of, ugh. I hate it. I'm sorry. That's my little rant.
They weren't trying to make him attractive, Brittany. That was not the priority.
It was probably the sneer on his face the whole time. I know.
Yeah.
He's a hater.
He looks, he looks particularly nasty in the movies. So back to the book.
Before we go back to the book, I have to say this. Felix is way prettier than Jamie.
Oh my God. Felix is a fairy walking, okay?
He is. Okay, we can go back to the book now.
Okay, so we already kind of discussed a little bit their situation on the way out. Bella has a complete breakdown.
We talked about Jane a little bit, but also, and the fact that her power doesn't work on Bella.
Yeah.
But also, Arrow makes enemies out of, I think it's Dimitri, or is it Felix? One of them, and Jane, and Caius, and Bella. Those three hate her.
Yeah.
By the time she's leaving. And I was like, you want her to join, and yet you just turn Jane against her?
Well, he has Chelsea to make their bonds inseparable. So he doesn't worry about making enemies because Chelsea will fix that shit for him.
Also, I thought it was really, really, really petty that that Stephanie Myers made Jane jealous because she was no longer special.
Yeah, that's some petty bullshit that we don't need to be seeing from a 12-year-old child. You know what I mean? Like, way to go for perpetuating that stereotype for women.
Yep.
Poor girl.
We gotta.
It was a lot of the stuff to me in the last part of this didn't make sense. It didn't make sense why they wanted them to wait till dark when they came in when it was daytime. Why? What's going to be weird about people walking out the front door?
Because they might go into the sun and sparkle.
Well, no. I think also the reason they were told to wait till dark is because they were in the middle of killing a bunch of people in the other room, and there was like a frenzy in there. So part of it was that they weren't supposed to leave
frenzy.
Or go anywhere that could possibly get themselves in any trouble because they could be casualties.
Also, I think it's interesting because, Edward tries to kill himself at noon. Let's say that this whole encounter took 2 hours, which I think is being generous. So they literally had to stay in that room from 2 p.m. till dark, which is about 6:30 to 8. Depending on...
What?
Depending on...
It's a valid question.
What'd you ask?
What if she needed to pee?
You gotta hold that shit.
Depending on, what time of year it is, darkness can fall between 6:30 and 8. So that's a long time to be sitting there listening to people get slaughtered. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I guess it depends because isn't for that part though, but that part of the earth, depending on that time of year, it could actually get dark much, much later.
Yeah.
I know we went to the UK and it got dark at like 11 and then got light again at like 3 a.m. or something.
Yeah. When I was in Spain, it got dark very late.
I don't have a reference to be like when I was in.
Well, we're going to take you somewhere.
Please do. No, I'm just kidding.
But seriously,
one of these days when I have money and we're all like traveling for the podcast. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Midnight Readers Podcast World Tour.
Yeah. Oh, we're reading a book about this. Let's go.
Right? But anyways, back to the books. So I did think it was also kind of silly that poor Bella went all the way to Italy and didn't even get to look around a little bit.
And yet she was gone for 3 days?
Well,
Was that 3 days? Where was the hotel stays? That seems odd that it was 3 days.
it took super long to get over there, and then they were there for almost a full day, and then it took super long to get back, so.
It doesn't take that long, no.
I don't know. It was 9 hours to Spain, so it was probably at least 9 hours over there. No, longer.
That's a third of a day. You could do that. Hit the Voltura.
They were coming from Washington, so.
Back in
From Korea to Paris, it's a 14-hour
days.
flight. And yes, I know that because of Felix. But anyway.
So, yes, it was a long-ass flight.
And that's from Washington to Italy. That's probably about at least a 14-hour flight.
Now, it did make me wonder, this is so stupid to care about, but on the way back, they stopped in Atlanta, and then they went to Washington.
I guess they did
Why wouldn't they go the other way?
That would make more sense.
They never do. Flights are all fucked up on where they stop at. It seems like it almost backtracks and then you go.
Yeah, I don't
know.
have enough
It's
flight knowledge to.
The hubs.
Yeah. I've only been on one plane before, and that was to Chicago. So
If we have any flight agents or, anyone in the audience, can you let us know if that's absolutely ridiculous or not?
see, because I guess if you go from Washington to Italy, going that way towards my left.
What would that be? You mean over East Asia?
Yeah, going over Asia.
Okay.
That would be going, like, the time goes backwards.
Right.
So I could understand that. But then you're also going back even further to Atlanta?
Well, yeah, but the thing is, though,
My
is
brain
that
hurts.
Atlanta
My
might
brain
be the
hurts
only
too.
hub that Volturi Air flies to.
Right. Yes. Volturi Air only goes to Atlanta, and
They only go. Yeah.
because Atlanta's full of vampires?
so are you telling me I live within the vicinity of Volturi Air?
Go get you some vampire stuck. Be a vampire.
Okay.
Does
Sorry.
that mean that that's how they got their
Blah, 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 blah.
how they got their American
The tourists? The
snack
tourists?
foods in?
Oh my
They
god.
brought them in through the Atlanta airport.
Oh my, you know what? I would believe that because of the absolute insanity that the Atlanta airport is. You can
Oh my
definitely
God.
sneak some
It is.
shit
Oh
in
my
there.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has a reputation.
It does.
If I'm flying through there, I give 3 hours between flights.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Dang. I've never actually had to be inside, but I did pick up somebody.
I have
Oh my
never
God.
been inside either. If I can
Are you serious?
Have I? That's a lie. I have, but it was
So,
with the group. It was with the
Atlanta's
group.
one that you have to take the train from
Yeah.
from like different concourses. Like you have to actually get on the train to get to a different concourse
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
run your ass to the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the one flight I've been on, I went from Savannah to Charlotte to Chicago, and then from Chicago to Charlotte back to Savannah.
See, that's good. I've been to Atlanta so many fucking times. I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible.
So don't go to the Atlanta airport, everybody. The
Yeah,
Volturi
just
Air will
FYI.
kidnap you, and you will become a happy
Eat you.
meal.
And if the
Yeah,
Volturi
Not
don't
a
kidnap
good
you,
one.
and if the Volturi don't kidnap you, then the Atlanta airport will just ruin your fucking day regardless.
They will.
Trust us. Trust us when we say that. But Bella refuses to sleep on the flight. She says she will not sleep because she has to be awake to see and witness Edward as long as she can. Because she's convinced that he's going to leave again.
No.
In midair?
I'm sorry. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
Oh, and she drinks a
I'm
Coke.
sorry. I'm sorry. The most intimate, without, going all intimate, you can be with somebody is to sleep with them. She should just curl up on his fucking body and sleep on him.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think she does, doesn't she?
She doesn't go to sleep.
She doesn't sleep, but she lays on him.
Yeah, but
Which is odd because that's the best time for her to go to sleep because he can't leave her during that trip.
Yeah. But no, she also is like, well, I want to enjoy every moment that we're together. And I'm
Oh my
like,
God.
Yeah, she wants to witness him. She wants to be awake and just be in his presence for as
Just-
long as possible.
she wants to sit there and stare at him because it's not like they're talking. Just fucking be with him instead of making it something that it's not.
It's just, she's absolutely lost it at this point, which, to be fair, she's been through quite a bit, but damn, girl.
And on the whole, like, he yells at her for, or not yells, but he fusses at her for getting a Coke. What did that fucking Coke do? What did it do? Nothing. She's still sitting there going, I'm staying awake. I'm staying awake.
For a Mormon, a Coke, caffeine from a Coke is like, that's skyrocketing. They don't even drink soda.
I get that. If you're not like me and you have caffeine in your veins,
literally,
that maybe it.
My drug of choice, caffeine.
Yeah. But
it's a good drug.
It's not like we see the effects on the page. She is literally still struggling to keep her eyes open.
If she doesn't drink caffeine or have any kind of caffeine, wouldn't she be off the walls?
In theory, it would be crazy for her.
That would be fun to see.
She drinks the occasional Coke.
To be fair, ADHD, caffeine generally puts you to sleep. So maybe she's ADHD.
All right, Bella, based.
But yeah, no, I was like, okay, so if you're going to sit there and be like, you have no tolerance for caffeine or whatever, then show it on the page. Don't just, like, she's seriously struggling to stay awake. And also, at some point, you have a second wind. I've literally stayed up for days on end. At some point, you have a second wind.
Yeah. The other thing is, they get to the airport and they run into the Cullens, who welcome them all home. And Rosalie...
Could you imagine the phone call they had to make to Charlie?
Oh my God.
Hi, Charlie. This is Carlisle. I want you to know that your daughter's flight is incoming. Meet us at the airport at 5, okay?
What do you mean, Carlisle? Can you imagine the fury? But so Rosalie is there, and Rosalie apologizes to Bella and somewhat Edward for putting them all in this situation, which I have to say, I don't really think that I blame Rosalie. Now, No. I think she should have gone and told Edward what was happening? I'm not sure. I'm on the fence about that, because I feel like as a sister who cares about their sibling, you feel like you want to tell them things. But also, if she knew that he was borderline suicidal, then maybe don't tell him these things.
I don't think that she thought about him being suicidal. I personally, knowing the way that Stephenie Meyers is, I think she wrote it as Rosalie was thinking about herself, like, okay, well, this is over, get over it, and now we can go home.
Maybe so.
But I don't think that's selfish of Rosalie, though, to think that way. I think Edward should get the fuck over it. Stop being a fucking baby.
I think that a lot of people made mistakes, and I think it was a mistake for Rosalie to jump the gun and tell Edward. I think it was a mistake for Edward to make one phone call and then decide to kill himself.
Yeah.
Maybe Alice probably shouldn't have even told her.
I think all the blame just really lies with Edward.
I agree. I think the problems here lie with Bella and Edward. Bella, because she should not be putting herself in danger, but also Edward, because he's just determined to kill himself. If Bella dies.
But so is she. She's determined to kill herself, too.
Yeah.
They really were made for each other.
And I agree that I think it's just a mistake. People make mistakes, and maybe she had his best interest at heart. Who knows?
I wouldn't hold Rosalie accountable.
No.
But
she had no idea.
She's as much accountable as Alice is for, telling Rose about it.
Yeah.
But there were mistakes that were made, and mistakes happen, shit happens, we move on.
But did I miss the part where Edward said that he was sorry for creating all the chaos by going to the Volturi in the first place, that was a dumbass move that he shouldn't have done? He does say that. Apologize? He apologized for going, or he just gave excuses for why he went?
It's a little bit of both.
Because I felt like it was like, oh, I did it because of this, and didn't say, hey, I was a dumbass, I shouldn't have done this. It put everybody in danger, and it was very selfish.
The thing is that he said that he should have done it differently, so that he should have made sure that Bella was dead before doing it. Because at the, when he's talking about hiding Bella away from Dimitri at the end, he was like, and don't even get me started. We're going to definitely have to talk about her aversion to the age of 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to slap that bitch.
So old. Horrifying.
But he was like, yeah, and you might get to be 30, and then you might, and she's like, well, what happens when I'm a grandma and everybody's like, we shouldn't be together? And he's like, I don't even care. You look beautiful. And then she's like, well, I'll die. And he was like, and I'll follow. He learned nothing. He learned nothing.
He didn't. He absolutely was not sorry at all, but the thing is, even without Bella, say she did croak, like she did die, and he went there and had them kill him. Isn't there the possibility that they would then take that to the rest of the Cullens, or somehow? I don't know.
Another thing that is crazy about the discussion they have when they get back. So Charlie's furious. I forgot to say this first and foremost. Charlie is furious.
Yes. And
furious.
Every right to be.
Yes, he has every right.
Yes.
He's like, Isabella Swan!
My dad probably would have called the FBI.
Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely mad. And that's so fair.
I think it's kind of crazy that he has absolutely no idea where she went.
Yeah.
He had to know. I'm assuming they got a connecting flight from Atlanta. Otherwise, he had to know that she didn't come from LA.
I don't know. How would he know that?
Because you can look up a flight online.
But would he do that, though?
I mean, if I were a parent, I probably would.
In 2005, Charlie doing that. I just can't see it.
It's 2006. It's 2006.
Okay, my bad. It's 2006. Excuse me.
My parents would have done it. Just saying.
I don't think any of my parents would have thought of that, including the grandparents that raised me and my mom and my dad.
My parents were paranoid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they would have been paranoid. They just wouldn't have thought of that, is what I'm saying.
My dad liked to catch me in lies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with you as his daughter, he had to get smart. He probably had to be real quick.
I didn't do anything that... man. Okay.
But anyway, so Charlie's furious, but Edward sneaks in to talk to her after hours, as he always does. And they do have that discussion about, him apologizing. She doesn't believe that he's really there. She thinks she's full on hallucinating for most of the conversation.
When she wakes up at 1 a.m?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, Bella needs to go touch some grass.
Yeah, she really did.
Really does.
Yeah. Also, I think it's hilarious that Edward refers to Jacob as that boy.
He's 110 and Jacob is 15.
He's 17. He's 17 for the purposes of being with Bella. He is 17 years old. Otherwise, it's
the
creepy.
mind of a 17-year-old. Yes.
That too. Just saying. He calls him the boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just think it's hilarious because from here on out, it's going to be like that. Edward is going to refuse to acknowledge Jacob unless he has to. And it's going to be a problem because he knows that Jacob and Bella are now somewhat inseparable.
And this is what I have to say to both boys.
Yes. A big fuck you no jutsu. I hope that eventually gets put on Patreon so that people can see how funny this looks.
I did it without having to turn it around. Woo!
The way you do it is so funny to me because your little fingers...
I gotta hold them down.
They actually look like they're happy little people instead of like flipping somebody off. It's like a weeble.
We're just gonna sit there and be like, boom.
Okay. What else? What other reactions did we have to Edward's apology. How do we feel about it?
It's not an apology.
It's not a good enough apology.
It's like one of those, I'm sorry you took it that way apology.
I thought it was crazy that he was, like the floorboard thing. I just think it's crazy that he says that she's crazy for believing that he would never love her. When he says it so intently to her face, he's very clear about it when he leaves. He's like, I cannot love you anymore. I have to leave. I'm never coming back. He makes it clear. And he hides all the shit and he doesn't come back. How crazy of her to believe what you said.
Exactly. Yeah. And then he gets irritated that she doesn't believe what he says.
Yeah.
But his ex... Go ahead.
I was going to say, boys, they think no means yes. So...
Oh my God, true!
How... Yeah. Why would he not think that she would...
So
not
true.
Take his words for...
So true.
And his whole explanation of, like with Victoria, that, I didn't realize she was a threat. I didn't know that she would come back.
But also he's been tracking her this whole time, even though she wasn't a threat.
But yeah. But I mean, when in the very first book, she was a threat. They had to lead her away. They were trying to take her on too. And what you thought, now all of a sudden she wasn't a threat after you killed her mate that you knew she was mate.
Is she not a threat because she's a woman? Did he think that she was going to drop it because she's a woman? Why?
It's so idiotic. The explanation is so stupid.
Other than that, I wanted to, in this whole scene, basically from when they decide that Bella either has to die or become a vampire with the Volturi, Bella is literally like, I'm going to be an immortal annoyance.
Oh my God, I hated that
around.
Part. Yeah.
I'm gonna be stuck with him, me loving him and him not. And then she has this fucking epiphany. He loves me.
I hated that part. I hated that part. She's like, wait a minute. I do like, actually, however, when she goes, shh, I'm having an epiphany. I thought that was funny. But other than that, it's like, girl, what are you talking about? Where have you been? Where have you been?
Aren't you supposed to be smart? Weren't you in the gifted program or something?
Yeah, it feels like a whole other character.
I just felt like that part was silly, but I could understand her not believing that he's back, not believing that he's real. I get that. I can get that with the way that the rest of the book has gone. I just thought the epiphany thing was kind of silly.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting that she does bring up her having to be turned into a vampire, and he's so against it that she's like, you know what? I'm not asking you anymore. It's not about you. I'm taking it to the rest of the Cullens.
Mm-hmm.
Good on her.
To me, I was like, good on her, but also, honey, your body, your choice. It's not up to them.
I agree, personally.
Yeah.
But if he needs a man to tell him, okay, we'll get a man, I guess.
What was it? There was also when he was describing about how, his world was over because he left her and whatever.
Yeah. And
the light wasn't the same or something. I can't remember the exact phrasing, but then she was like, your eyes will adjust. I was like, take your own advice, honey.
I also
take your own advice.
I thought it was really funny when she was literally describing how she tried to kill herself or like hurt herself in order to hear hallucinations of him. And he goes,
You did what?
And she's like, anyways, moving on from that.
Moving on.
They don't discuss it further. And he goes, well, I was also kind of hallucinating, so I understand.
He hears voices in his head because they're in other people's head, not because he was making shit up and seeing things.
What a crazy interaction that was to just blow off the whole 20 chapters as just it's really not that big a deal.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah, you're not delusional or psychologically disturbed or depressed or any of these things. Which she does say that the hole was coming back. When she thought about him leaving.
Not the hole. Brittany's bringing up the hole again.
He unplugged the hole. And I do have to say, her whole, yeah, but what if you change your mind thing?
Yeah.
That was for real for me.
Yeah.
I have those thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I
That's
don't trust
fair.
you not to change your mind. I'm sorry.
No, that was a reasonable response. That
Yes.
was the most reasonable thing she said was, what if you change your mind? And really, Edward already did that. So why wouldn't she be afraid of that? He's already once just randomly made up his mind that he's going to have to leave her because she's in danger. So I definitely understand where she's coming from, not trusting him on this at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they go to the Cullens house at like 1 a.m. or whatever time it is to do the vote. And they have a very short discussion, which I thought was interesting because Bella basically says, hey, you guys are a part of this too. You're also in danger with the Volturi if I am not changed into a vampire. And that's why I'm bringing this here. And we get 2 no's and 5 yeses for her to be turned into a vampire. Who are the 2 no's?
And
Rosalie was one.
And Edward.
Yep.
And Rosalie's was almost sad. I wish I'd had someone vote no for me. How would that have made Carlisle feel?
Yeah, I can't imagine how he feels now that she's forever a part of the family and he has to deal with that. But I also don't think he feels that badly about it because he votes yes for Bella.
Yeah.
True.
Although Bella chooses it. The thing that gets me is that there's this book series that I love by Janine Frost. It's very spike-coded. Very spike-coded. The main character is a British bleach blonde who wears a black leather duster.
That book.
Yeah. So he was turned by his best friend into a vampire against his will. And although he loves his best friend, it holds it against him for the longest time. And then at some point he meets the main character. They became a couple. And at the very end of the series, he goes up to his best friend and is like, thank you for turning me. Because if you hadn't turned me, I would have never met her and my life wouldn't be what it was. That's kind of what I want from Rosalie.
Yeah.
That sounds nice, but unfortunately, I don't think that will ever happen for Rosalie.
I don't think it will either.
She has the saddest story to me of the Cullens because even later when Bella has her baby, we also have to reflect on how Rosalie, all she ever wanted was a family and children. And so Rosalie gets super, super attached to Rigatoni and doesn't want to give her up. And that is also super sad to me.
But she also gets that kind of sort of thing with Rigatoni.
Yeah, in a way. But I don't think that's the same.
I know. But at the same time, there are women who want children and cannot have them.
Yeah.
And they find other ways. Somebody I know became a librarian.
I think they're still sad though. I mean, I don't think it takes that away and probably takes that yearning away, but maybe on a day-to-day basis, you may not see it.
Yeah, but her reasoning for telling Bella no, I think is sound. It's so honest and heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
Like, there are other ways, but that doesn't take away how she feels, you know?
I think it is, but basically, what if they were sitting there debating on whether or not Rosalie could have a child, and somebody said no because I don't want one?
That's not how this works, though. That's not the same thing.
But Bella asked for her input.
Yeah.
So it's not so that she doesn't solely get the choice, but it's just Bella's getting their thoughts, how they, their vote on it. And so she asked for that. So I think that's a little bit different.
Well, I'm not saying like, what if we reversed the roles and say it were Rosalie who was pregnant with Rigatoni and she asked the family, should I keep this child or not? And somebody said no because I wouldn't want one.
That's not the same thing because
Rosalie didn't want to become a vampire.
Rosalie's reasoning is not because she doesn't want to be a vampire. It's because nobody stood up for her. Nobody helped her make a choice. She didn't have a choice, but Bella does have a choice.
And Bella's choice is to become a vampire.
Right, but she has the right to say that she doesn't vote towards it. I don't feel like it's not the same thing as having a baby. It's not.
It's the thing that Rosalie wants. It's the only thing that I can compare it to.
I just don't think it's the same, because being a vampire takes away your humanity, but having a baby is like something else entirely.
One is also a natural process and the other is not.
Right.
But I mean, I definitely understand you're trying to equate one with the other, and there's not a whole lot you can equate with Rosalie that would be the same. So I understand what you're saying, and the fact that they all get a vote anyways could be problematic. But I think she's just more wanting to offset Edward's saying no, because I think she really wants Edward to be the one to change her. But that's where she is making the mistake. It should be her body, her choice, and it should be something that she goes to Alice. But that's the thing. Are they going to change her? But I go back to hell again. Run your hand along his teeth when his mouth is open. Like, do something like that. But it was no longer his choice.
I just don't think it's the same because, for example, Rosalie's doing it in defense of Bella as opposed to acting against her, if that makes sense. Like, she thinks that she's doing it because it's something that is for her. Like, for example, as someone who's been in a shitty relationships, when I see shitty relationships, I try to reach out to people or tell them, you know what I mean? Like, I try to help people if I feel like they need help, because I oftentimes was in situations where I felt like nobody helped me, even though the signs were there, right? I feel like it's a similar situation.
I don't know. I still think that Rosalie should have been like, I vote for whatever you want to be.
I think
in my opinion. I think everybody should have voted that way.
I think that's the most reasonable vote. I don't think that you're wrong on that. I just don't think Rosalie was wrong to vote that way. Because her body, her choice, right? Like, that makes sense. But I also think Rosalie's reasoning is sound.
I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Edward has a temper tantrum.
Oh my God.
Because Carlisle votes yes. It didn't matter about anyone else's vote. Carlisle's vote held the most weight.
I mean, he had to know that Carlisle was going to vote yes.
Yeah. I mean, if Bella wants it, I don't think Carlisle would tell her no.
Yeah.
I don't think Carlisle sees it in the same way that Edward does, which is like damnation or something. And I think that's why he is not opposed to doing it. And in this situation, it's best for all of them, right? Or at least that's what it seems to be. Although Edward argues, the funniest part of this conversation is Edward's like, okay, well, here's my plan, which is Dimitri's never going to find us because blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was really funny that Jasper and Emmett were like, good plan, bro. And Alice and Rosalie and Bella were like, these fucking idiots. I just thought that was perfect. He's like,
good plan.
Dimitri probably won't find us.
That will totally work. Absolutely.
I just think that's so funny because the Cullens have been there for how long now? And the Volturi know that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not like they have to go looking for them.
Yeah.
I'm sure they know where all of their houses are.
Yeah.
Not just that, but Carlisle worked at the hospital, and oftentimes, and maybe not back then though, I know now, you have like your doctor picture and description on websites.
Yeah.
So you could literally Google Dr.
Just
Carlisle
Google
Cullen,
Dr. Carlisle
and it would be like, works at so-and-so hospital.
Fuck, dude, he was probably in the yellow pages. I don't think they had to try that hard.
2006 was not that,
though.
Not that.
We had yellow pages.
Had the internet. We still had the internet. We barely had the yellow pages.
I'm not saying we didn't have the internet. I'm saying there was both. Okay.
I get that, but they didn't have that in Italy. They don't have the Italian yellow pages, do they? Like a world.
They could just fly to America.
Yeah, I just meant like if you wanted to, it'd be really easy to find them from multiple avenues. Is what I was trying to say.
So they would ring up the phone company and be like, "Can you ship a phone book to Italy, please?"
They would have to go to America to find them anyway, so they could just go to America, pick up a phone book.
Pick up a phone book. Okay, there's Carlisle.
Maybe slap some people around with it, because that shit was huge.
John told me that his mother smacked one of his brothers with a phone book one time.
Oh my God.
And it's because John was being a fucking idiot in the car. And she aimed and hit the wrong brother.
Oh, no.
Anyway,
We always threw ours away because we never used it.
we had one for a long time and really didn't need it, but
We memorized our phone numbers. I still
Yeah.
know my best friend's phone number from childhood.
so they come to an agreement that Bella is going to be turned after she graduates and after they get married.
Okay.
Which she freaks out about.
Her
Yes.
sitting there going, okay, turn me now. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I thought
Are
that was
you
silly.
kidding me?
I thought that was silly. Like, you don't
Well,
have any
her-
forethought.
Well, yeah,
Dumbest-
her freak out over the marriage, though, when she's like, "Oh, I'm too young. I'm only 18."
Okay.
But
Okay.
don't you, like, not
Well,
want to be 30 or whatever? So you're too young, but then you're also too old.
See,
Yeah,
okay, so remember how I talked about I was in a long distance relationship with a military guy and I said
Yeah.
that it worked out fairly okay? Kind
Did
of, not really.
He's a military guy.
So he was very much Edward-esque. When he was going off to boot camp, he broke up with me in the middle of the bus station very, very publicly and like humiliated me.
Oh, no.
Then he
Damn.
called me a week later and said that his mother made him do it. And then we had the long distance relationship, which was fine until he started accusing me of sleeping around. And then he proposed and I said no because I was 18 and I was not ready to get married.
I wonder if he proposed. Man, that's crazy. I wonder
no,
if
but
he
you
proposed.
didn't want to be a vampire. Sorry.
But I mean, my mom always says I am. So do I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to living forever, reading all the books and stuff, you know, not getting any older.
I do think it's interesting that she doesn't want to get married immediately, even though she's so obsessed with Edward. I do think that getting married at 18 is another Mormon thing. I definitely think it's another Mormon thing. But because historically, the women get married right out of high school, sometimes even right out of undergrad, if they go to BYU. And then the men are the ones that are a little bit older when they get married.
My thing is, okay, so obviously I wasn't too thrilled with my proposer, but she's in love with him. And so what does it matter that she is 18?
I don't really
And
know.
And again, she is obsessed with age.
It's an interesting thing about her.
And she's ready to give up her own life to be with him.
Yeah, so what does marriage represent to her that's like so horrifying is what I want to know.
I know it's because of her mom and what happened between her mom and her dad.
Yeah, that's what she says.
And I'll be honest, I have some hangups where my aunt and my uncle like knew each other for 2 months before they got married.
Me and Johan were together for 7 years before we got married.
Yes. And
well, but now Travis and I dated for 3 months
before you got married.
Before we got engaged.
That's
and
iconic.
Yeah,
that's iconic because you guys are like the best. Sometimes you just know, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I have yet to meet somebody that I guess would be like, okay, I can see myself with you for the rest of my life.
I think because I didn't want to get married before Travis.
Yeah, I think you just know when it's the right person. I think to each their own because I don't really yuck either yum.
But yeah, I mean, I guess if I ever, not that I'm also like, I told my parents I wasn't getting married. I'm sure if I ever met somebody who brought that out in me, I would. But at this point in my life, I'm like,
probably not.
But I do understand Bella's, I'm 18. Because I was there at that point.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know.
No.
I don't understand why, if she feels this way about him, why she's being hesitant, except for the fact that her mom wouldn't approve.
I could see that being a major reason. Yeah.
Yeah, but being a vampire, becoming a vampire and locking herself into the whole family for eternity seems a lot more commitment than...
I mean, to be fair,
Agreed, Christy.
If she does become a vampire, she's probably going to have to get married multiple times. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Don't tell her that.
Well, I mean, they talk about it with Rose.
Yeah. Now, there is an epilogue, which is the last time we see Jacob. I felt particularly bad for Jacob, even though he
did her dirty
here.
though.
Yeah.
He did her dirty.
He did. I was like,
that bitch deserved it.
That's what I said. I said he was playing dirty, but I don't know if she does. Well,
she deserved it.
I don't know. I'm kind of back and forth. I think I'm back and forth because I feel like she did deserve something in retaliation, right? For how she fucking did him. But at the same time, that playing that card, like bringing the motorcycle to Charlie, that's like, you're not supposed to go there. You know what I mean? Like parental shit, you don't do that shit with your best friend.
You get them in other ways.
But that wasn't best friend. She literally called him the leftover, unresolved character.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But that's the crazy part about this is, and I know we've already talked about it a lot, but even in the epilogue, she's talking about how he's not really anything to her, but then she reaches out to him like, I don't want to let you go. I miss you. And Jacob's like, I also miss you. And they're also fighting. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You clearly have feelings for this man. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so impacted, but also you're upset with him. There's so much going on.
I think she likes him as a reserve. I don't think she likes him as her main person that she's going to pay attention to. But if something happens where she's got nobody else, then she wants him to be available for her. I mean, I think that's the role.
I couldn't believe she compared him to Paris again. She literally calls him the extra character. And she said she didn't know what to do with him. And then she's like, but I can't live a day without you.
And then she called it the 18 months, that it was a disturbing nightmare, the last 18 months. And it's like, look, I know it was difficult, but you also had some good times.
Yeah, the last 8 months. 18 months.
8 months?
Yeah, it's only 8 months.
I it's 8 months. Okay. But it was, But
yes, you had a great time. Yes.
Yeah. And I just thought that was really shitty. I felt like, I was in support of the writing her out.
Also, I understand Jacob thinking that Edward was the one keeping her away because he was pretty controlling in the beginning. You know? Kind of.
I didn't understand that because she is literally calling him every day trying to talk to him.
That's fair. But I think it's a little bit of both. If you are best friends with someone who's in a toxic relationship, you know that they want to be with that person, but also the other partner is doing fucked up shit that's making it worse, right?
Yeah.
He could see it that way, as in, yes, she wants to be with him, but also he might be doing things that are further encouraging her to stay away from me, I guess.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
In the next book.
Yeah. Yeah. The boy. Not Jacob, not the wolf, not the werewolf, just the boy. Any other thoughts?
I'm glad this book is over.
Me too. I liked it up to the last few chapters. I actually enjoyed it up to the last few chapters.
I really liked the stuff with Jacob, as I said before, and I always enjoy anything with Jacob in it. But I do think I'm going to be a lot angrier at him going forward.
Yeah.
Pulling the motorcycle thing with Charlie, that was below the belt, truly.
It really was.
Against friend code. All right, I guess we'll end there. We hope that you'll join us for next week's episode. We'll be discussing Book 3, Eclipse, chapters 1 through 5. New episodes drop every week, and don't forget to check out last season's discussion on the Empyrean series, available now.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. That like and follow are super important for us to continue to bring you new episodes each week, so please, please, please do so. You can also support us by joining us on Patreon. Thank you for listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.